Hello Team Telco. This training is about how to capture bank statements correctly. When you start capturing bank statements, you want to ensure that you do it accurately and as close to the original source document as possible. So in order to capture a bank statement into Odoo, you need the original bank statement from the bank before you can start to capture. This is an example of a bank statement from FNB for telecontract. This bank statement has transactions for certain period of time in June, and we are going to try and replicate those transactions into Odoo. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go into Odoo and find the particular bank journal that you're dealing with. In this case, we are dealing with FNB. Then once we found our bank journal, we're going to now start to capture the transactions for each day in a separate file. We're going to create the bank statement into a separate file. But before we do that, in order for us to maintain consistency, we're going to ensure that we copy the nomenclature and the titling from another bank statement so that we are making sure that our titling is the same. So the name of the bank journal, its currency, and then the year, month, day format is what we will put. Make sure you're dealing with the correct bank journal, in this case FNB, and then the date. Make sure that you pick the correct date that you're dealing with. In this case, we're dealing with the 9th of June 2020, so we're going to put that date. Make sure. This is very, very important. Now, once we've done that, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to deal with starting balances and end balances, and this must be done before you even start capturing your bank statement. This is the check that will make sure that your bank statement is captured correctly. So from the bank statement, you're going to pick up the opening balance before any transactions are done that day. So I'm just going to copy this across. The opening balance for that day was 133,797.78. I'm going to put that in there. Then you're going to also make sure that you get the closing balance at the end of that day after all transactions have been done. So I'm going to copy that across as well and make sure that I've got the correct closing balance. This I must do before I even start capturing my bank statement, and you'll see the reason why we do this. Then I'm going to go ahead and start capturing the transactions for that particular day. The transactions for that particular day, make sure that the date is correct. It's going to automatically pick the date that you set on the statement as the date for the transactions, but make sure that they're the same. And also you'll notice that this is American format. It starts with the month and then the day and then the year. So we're going to use the Zimbabwean format or UK format for our nomenclature at the top, but notice that the system uses American dates. Okay, don't get too confused. For the label, we're going to make sure we copy exactly what is on the bank statement. So we're going to copy exactly what's on the bank statement onto the label. And that's what we're going to put into our bank statement. Right? Once we've copied the label, for the partner, let's leave that for now because partnering we're going to talk about in the upcoming video. Then we're going to put the amount that is on there. We're going to copy the exact amount that's on there, $217. Okay, and we're going to do the second transaction as well, and we're going to copy it across into there. Right, and we're going to copy the exact amount for the transaction. Right, now that we've done that, pardon me, I forgot as well that these are negative, these are payments, so they're supposed to be negative transactions. So make sure that you check on the statement whether this is a payment or whether this is a receipt, and make sure that it is correctly stated, otherwise your statement won't be correct. Okay, so once you've done that, now you are ready to check that your statement is correct. You've done all the transactions for the day. Now let's go back to that starting balance and that ending balance. The starting balance was 133,797.78 and the ending balance 132,434.12. Now if we check, to check that we've done our transactions correctly, there's a field at the bottom called the computed balance. If the computed balance is the same as the ending balance, then we know that we've captured all of our statements absolutely correctly. However, if the ending balance and the computed balance are not the same, then we know we've made some mistake in our statement capturing and we must go back and check. That is the way that you can check that you have captured your statement absolutely correctly. So this is the way that you can go about checking your statement balance is actually correct. Once you've done that, you are ready to save and you're ready to go. Now, the other thing that you must make sure of before you finish or when you're capturing your statements is that when you capture the next day's statement, you must start off from the previous day's statement. Okay, so we want to capture the statement for the next day, and you'll notice that the system automatically picks up your closing balance from the previous day and it puts it right there as your new opening balance. And then you go and pick the date as per normal, and then you are ready to now start copying your transactions and making sure that you've got the correct transactions. Okay, so for the 10th of June, my opening balance is correct and my closing balance is there. I'm going to pick it up, copy it across, and we're ready to go. Okay, then yes, make sure that also you've changed the reference date for the statement. That's also very, very important. Okay, so I'm going to quickly populate all the transactions for the 10th, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back, and I've done all the transactions, and as you can see, my ending balance is perfectly aligned to my computed balance, and that's what makes me know that I've done all my statement transactions correctly. As I said on the partnering, we will talk about that in the next video and the one after that to show you how to partner and how to reconcile your statement. But if you are doing these things, then you can be sure that you are doing your statement correctly. If you've got any questions, let me know.